How could it be possible to work in your own self-interest and still no one else lose? What does it take to be great? What is the key to greatness? And that's a good question for everybody to make a note of. What is the key to greatness? The full development of our potential, because that's really two parts to life. It's the full development of our potential and the wise use of all of our resources. You can't describe life, human life, any better than that. The full development of all of our potential and the wise use of all of our resources. How can we be great? Or should we even seek for greatness? Now, the answer was given how to be great, so it must have been okay. And let me break it down for you. The key to greatness, how to act in your own self-interest, but still not diminish the interest of anyone else. And it's a very simple answer. Now, greatness could be defined in many ways. Great wealth, great power, great influence, great self-esteem, great self-respect. There's many kinds of greatness, but how could we achieve all of that greatness in some measure or ongoing measure? How could we achieve that? Here was the simple answer. It said this: find a way to serve the many. Find a way to serve the many. It is the greatest key to self-interest. Now, wishing to be great would seem as a statement of your own self-interest, which is true. But we're talking now about enlightened self-interest. Find a way to serve. Now we come to the next one. If you wish to be ruler over many, nothing wrong with that, to be ruler over many. Here's what it says: be faithful when the amounts are small. To rule over many, be faithful when you have just a few. Someone says, well, if I had a big organization, I'd really take good care of it, but I've only got 3 or 4, I don't know where they are. See, that's not the key. The key is to really know where the 3 or 4 are. Take exceptionally good care of the 3 or 4. Because if you become faithful, if you become disciplined in giving your best attention and the best you've got to the few, now you begin to qualify now to have the many to preside over. The many will come if you pass the test of the few. It's better to give than to receive. Now see, at first, that doesn't seem right. At first, but here's what you can get at first: faked out until you become educated. At first, it seems like it's better to receive than it is to give. And you say, no, you must be educated to understand. It's better to give than it is to receive. Now here's why. Giving starts the receiving process. Wouldn't that be acting in your own self-interest, is to do something that started the receiving process? And the answer is yes. Now I understand. Now I can act in my own self-interest in an enlightened way instead of a destructive way. Life responds to deserve, not to need. Life was not designed to give us what we need. Life was designed to give us what we deserve. Now, not in a moral sense now. This is just in a basic sense. There are certain moral challenges as well, spiritual and moral. But here's what the great law says. It does not say if you need, you will reap. That's not what it says. If you move toward education, education starts to seek you out. This is one of the unique positive mysteries. Whatever you move toward, moves toward you. If you move toward progress, progress seems to want to now embrace you, move toward you. All life seems to wish to reward its benefactor. If you become the benefactor, you'll receive these incredible rewards. If you're the benefactor to the garden, the flowers seem to bloom and say, look at me, look how bright and beautiful I am because you took care of me. I wish to reward you by being beautiful, lovely, spectacular. So whatever you're going to do with your life, you got to get at it. Don't just let the springs pass. Learn how to protect your crops all summer. You got to take care of what you start. Sure enough, as soon as you've planted your garden in the spring, the busy bugs and the noxious weeds are out to take it. And here's the next bit of truth. They will take it unless you prevent it. You've got to learn to prevent the intruder from taking all the good you start. It's one of the challenges. All good will be attacked on this planet. Maybe not the next one we get to, but on this one, all good will be attacked. Every garden will be invaded. Not to think so is naive. All values must be defended. Political values, social values, community values, family values, marriage values, friendship values, business values. Every garden must be tended all summer. Learn how to reap in the fall without complaint. Learn to reap come harvest time without complaint. Take full responsibility for what happens to you. It's one of the highest forms of human maturity, accepting full responsibility. It's the day you know you've passed from childhood to adulthood, the day you accept full responsibility. And another note, learn to reap in the fall without apology. Without apology if you do well, and without complaint if you don't. That's maturity. I used to have that long list of reasons why I wasn't doing well. To explain. You got to explain, right? Otherwise you're going to look bad. I used to have this funny list called Reasons for Not Looking Good. I used to blame the government. I mean, you can believe that or not. It was at the top of my list. I had a lecture second to none. The government. That was on my list. I used to blame taxes. Look what you got left after they take everything. And they expect you to do well. That was on my list there. Prices, that one's easy, right? You walk into the supermarket with $20, come out with a little half bag. So I had that on my list. I used to blame the weather. I blamed the traffic. I used to blame my car. I blamed the manufacturers. I used to blame the company. I blamed company policy. I used to blame the training program. I blame my negative relatives. They were always putting me down. I blame my cynical neighbors. They're just selfish, looking out for themselves. Won't loan you money? They were on my list. I used to blame the economy. I blamed the community. That's a pretty good list for not doing well, isn't it? I thought it was good. I'll never forget one day, Mr. Schoaf was very kind, but he was also very blunt, and this was no exception. And I'm glad he was blunt. There's a lot of things I'd have missed if he hadn't have been blunt. One day, with sort of a curious look on his face, he said, "Jim, just out of curiosity, tell me, how come you haven't done well up until now?" Excellent question. I thought, well, so I won't look too bad, I'll go through my list. And this list I just gave you, I put that on him. And he was very patient. He let me go through the whole thing, the government, the weather. I went through this whole thing. When I finished, he looked my list over very carefully. He said, "Mr. Rohn, big problem with your list. You ain't on it." How brilliant. When I went to work for him a few months later, I learned very quickly to tear up my list, reasons for not doing well, and I threw it away. And I got me a fresh piece of paper. And I put one word on it. Me. There's a Black Heritage spiritual that says, "It's not my mother, nor my father, nor my brother, nor my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer." See, I used to blame everything outside. And then let me give you a little philosophy that helped turn my life around. For your notes, here it is. It's not what happens that determines the quality or the quantity of your life. It's not what happens. And the reason is because what happens to about everybody. No different. The sun went down on all of us last night. A common event, a happening. And I found out that the same things can happen to two different people. One gets rich and one stays poor. Why is that? It's because it's not what happens, but rather it's what you do that changes everything. So that's a key phrase. It's not what happens, it's what you do. What happens is about the same. You might put that in parentheses here. Same. What people do, that's what's different. But it's not the happenings, it's what you do about it. Somebody says, "Yeah, but you don't understand the disappointments I've had." Come on. Everybody's had their share. Disappointments are not special gifts reserved for the poor. Everybody has them. The difference is what you do about it.
Chẳng thể quên khi cơn mưa đêm lại về. Em đã quên lời thề và ta như đông chìm sâu. Không cần mơ em anh nhận màu. Em chỉ cần mơ bye bye. Chỉ còn là những cơn mưa vô giá. Cho bên mơ em không mơ anh. Anh vẫn đang mơ. Chỉ cần bên em không được cần nhớ. Và trôi không còn nhớ. Người ta bên nhau nhưng đã tới. Muốn nhớ vì say em chỉ của mấy em ở đây. Và anh như muốn chết đi nhưng không muốn em mà vậy. Tình yêu làm cho ta đau đầu. Không em yêu nam thân màu. Anh như đeo mong cầu. Và mưa bên em có sầu. Chào các bạn mai mơ. Chỉ có bên em nhưng đừng có mơ. Em ở đàn dài. Em muốn bên ai. Anh không mong gì hơn. Chỉ mong em sẽ ở đây ôm anh thật gần. Anh chỉ mong đôi ta được có nhau. Và đừng em đâu anh có em. Muốn em bên anh có em. Ta sẽ trao nhau môi hôn thật sâu. Ôm anh.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to grey as you fade away. As you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away. Cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts. you.